everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna. Today we'll be doing a messy finishing off 2025 and books that I would like to finish in 2025. My gosh, Anna, can you not talk? But anyways, do you like my shirt? Isn't she cute? I actually wanted to wear this today, but basically it was raining. Can you see any rain? All I see is gloomy and smoke. Because we actually have smoke right now. So they lied. And I can't wear it tomorrow because apparently it's also gonna rain. So how fun. This was actually the rainiest season, rainiest month we ever had. So rain, I love you though, but you need to calm down. I wanna wear cute outfits. Like, come on. But anyway, so I have no idea what is what and when it will be released. Because my remainder books of the year is like all over the place. So, and some of them might already be out. So I'm gonna ignore that part of the year and I'm gonna focus on July and onwards. So, yeah, let's see what we have. I'm gonna include this one because it's only like 5 days. So yeah, it's been 5 days since its release. I'm gonna include it anyways, but let's see what it is. So my first book is In the Veins of the Drowning by Kelly Cassidy. It came out on July 15, so quite literally last week. And the monster is always slain. A Morgan male is in hiding from a cruel kingdom that believes sirens are monstrous, blood-hungry creatures, hiding from a king and his captain who viciously hunt her kind, hiding from her own unloving abilities, but keeping herself from the sea. Imogen's bloodlust is dulled, and her black wings remain hidden beneath the sea. Is this a retell of, I haven't a clue. That's gonna give me a little mermaid retell. But alright, so I have talked this about in my July releases, and as Akiana Academy by Elise Kova comes out on July 22nd. A woman who wields magical tarot cards lands herself in a close engagement with the headmaster of a mysterious academy. Clara Gray's sword has survived the underworld of Eclipse City through thievery, luck, and a whole lot of illegal magic. After a job gone outward, Clara is sentenced to a lifetime in prison for inking tarot cards, a rare power reserved for practitioners at the Elite Arcana Academy. That also sounds really interesting. And my next book is Dragon Curse by Eliza Cobra. It's supposed to come out on September 30th. But there seems to be no plot as of yet, so we will see whenever that time comes. My next book is A Spell to Wake the Dead by Nicholas Plant. I believe I also talked about this in my August releases. Two teen girls must uncover the dark oculus secrets lurking in a Cape Cod town to solve a series of murders and save themselves from the same fate. When Bessie and her best friend Nona seek out to the beach one moonlight night to cast a spell, they don't expect to find a dead body. But as the tide rolls in, it carries the remains of a woman who is missing her hands and feet. The girls know they should leave the investigation to the police, but they can't shake the weird supernatural connection they feel with the dead woman. Using spell work and divination, they set out to find answers of their own. But after they uncover a rash of local disappearances stretching back years, and both girls start having ocular visions and hearing ghostly whispering voices, Mazzy worries that she and Nora are in danger. And again, I have also talked about this book. It's Immortal Consequences by Ivy Marie. 6 students of Blackwood Academy, an enigmatic boarding school located at the edge of the afterlife, must compete for the once-in-eternity chances to change their fate, or risk remaining stuck in purgatory forever. And again, The Library at Hellborn by Cassandra Carr, and Deeply Dark Academia novel. The Hellborn Technical Institute for the Gifted is the premier academy for the dangerously, the Antichrist, and Ragnaroks, the World Eaters and Apocalypse Makers. Hellborn promises redemption, acceptance, and a normal life after graduation. At least that's what Elise Lee is told after she's kidnapped and forcibly enrolled. But the Institute is more than just a haven for monsters. On graduation day, the facility embarked on a ravenous rampage, feasting on the students. Trapped in the school's cavernous library, Elisa and her surviving classmates must do something they will never work together. If they don't, the school will eat them alive. And this book is third book in Guardians of Dawn by S.J. Jones. And this is Yuli. Princess Yolanda has a few problems. Her late grandfather has died without naming an heir. Civil war threatens to tear the morning robes apart. A strange waking dream of sickness is sweeping throughout the land, and the plague of hungry ghosts roam the steppes. On top of all of that, Cole, her former best friend turned rival, is getting under her skin. A struggle to power the rights north, and the alchemists are the winner of the grand game, a competition that will determine not just the future of our people, but the course of the entire empire. And this is on my birthday, August 19. And my next one is Mistress of Bones by Maria Zenvidinia. Necromancer Azul de Arroyo only wants one thing, to steal her sister back from death by reclaiming her sister's bones. But the emissary of the Lord Death will do anything to stop her, no matter how alluring he finds her. As the path collides, they are drawn into a deadly game of pawns and power. The Count who begrudgingly works for a child king, a faceless witch which promised the bones of gods in their dreams. She can peddle and a long-lost half-brother with a secret of his own, and soon realize the fate of the lands is hanging in the balance. And this is on August 5th. And my next one is Gold in the Creek by Rennie and Wagner. The Clackamas National Forest has always been a sanctuary for evil, human and alien. The shadows of living trees and long-abandoned mines shelter poachers and serial killers alike. Then there's the ruined hotel on the outskirts of picturesque small town Faraday, Oregon, nestled in the foothills of Mountain Hood. The one drowning in mushrooms and fungus not even a local expert can identify, not to mention stacks of missing persons cases. Freelance writer Erin Harper arrives in Faraday to find out what happened to her brother, whose disappearance in the forest has haunted her for years. But someone else has gone missing, and when Erin finds her in the creek, the girl vanishes again, this time from the morgue, and days later her fingerprints show up at the murder scene. Maybe it's a serial killer, or maybe it's spores infecting the forest and those lost inside. Erin must find answers quickly before anyone else goes missing, but she might be next. And this is last week, July 15. And my next one is A Curious Kind of Magic by Maria Rutherford. Element and Unmoored knows the Willow Stokes as a charlatan, including Willow herself. Her father, Sharpay, hasn't sold anything magical in decades and is only hanging on by the skin of the fake dragon seed Willow sells as charms along with chocolate ostrich eggs, vaccine-immune chimeras, and talismans made of fool's gold. Until Outlander Brianna Hargrave appears and turns Willow's fake into exactly what they're purported to be. But that try as Willow bite to enlist Bree's help, she wants nothing to do with Willow and her curiosities. Because Brianna is harboring a secret of her own, everything she touches turns to magic, and the consequences have chased her all the way to Undermoon. All she wants to do is find a particularly missing reward which contains a spell that can finally put an end to her curse. On October 21st. Perfect for Halloween. And October 7th is the River Drags Her Down. She has always known the rules, never risked to carry anything larger than the palm of her hand, but that was before her sister died. A chilling, compulsive exploration of sisterhood, loss, and revenge. I also really want to read this book. It's The Demon and the Light by Axie Orr. The battle is over, but the war is just beginning. With the help of her friends and allies, men manage to topple the general's excavation, but the floating world and its territories are still under threat of attack from the rival Roman Empire, and far worse, she was powerless to save Suno from being overcome by the monstrous power in his blood. Now he's gone, transformed into a feral, deadly creature that doesn't even recognize her anymore, and her heart aches for the sweet boy she's grown to love. So this is actually the second book in the Floating World. So I have to get my book going because I do like Final Fantasy, and this is what the book represents. It also means with Shadow and Bone. So I'm gonna get going with this book. And my last one is Girls of Dr. Riley E.V. Woods. A group of hauntingly beautiful girls have been bound together by a cruel curse, and one of them will go to any lengths to save them from the violent bands. And this will come out on August 5th. So those are my most anticipated books that I would like to finish off with this year. There was probably going to be more as the year comes by, but but these are like, I really want to read them, you know. So let me know what books you want to read for the rest of the year, and please like, comment, subscribe so you know if I every time I post, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!